back, guys, to the 4th episode of my Nether Only run. I thought I would start off with a bang by showing another huge mistake I made. This should give you an idea of what to expect later in the video. So last video, I covered my crop progression. While grinding for that, I was actually working on villages simultaneously. The key to being efficient at GTNH is being able to do many tasks at once. You are never waiting. There is always something to do. So I'll go over some footage that might be a bit older from when we left off last video. So my plan here is to make a villager breeder. In 1.7.10, villager breeders are very, very simple. All you need are 6 doors and 3 villagers. GTNH makes it really easy to multiply villagers. There is this item called a mystery arrow. All you need to craft it is just a cookie and an arrow. Then you can shoot the villager with it using a dispenser. This will multiply the villager into 2 baby villagers. Then once they grow, you can do the same thing once again to get the 3rd. Fun fact, there actually used to be a glitch using this arrow, where if you shot yourself, a mistake in the code actually gave you a diamond. Convenient, right? But sadly, it was patched, so we can't straight up exploit it to oblivion. In the background, you are seeing me build a huge platform where all the villagers are going to breed. This platform should enable us to easily see what villagers we have. The particular ones we are looking for are apothecaries. They have the 3 emeralds for 5 clay trade. Clay is rather important for progression. The first thing that it gates is the smeltery. There are 2 ways of getting clay. One, using the dust form from liquid XP crafting, but then you need water to turn it into actual clay balls. Or 2, you can use the villagers to just buy straight clay. So what I'm planning to do this episode is get villagers for the 128 clay quest in Stone Age, so we can finally unlock that gate in the quest book. And then set up a essence berry farm. Hopefully we can breed it. And craft the clay dust required for the smeltery. If you didn't know, villagers actually excrete emeralds from their who knows what. But this is going to come super handy and is something we may be able to manipulate. So I'm going to try to design this farm that makes it easy for us to do that. Villagers are always a pain in the ass to move. But luckily you're not the one doing it. So right now you're watching me build the ladder out of these tree vines I decided to use. I thought I'd be unique and actually utilize some of the crops that I have to integrate it into my new villager farm. I think these look alright. Let me know what you think. This will be my substitute ladder. I think we should actually normalize using non-ladders. Like, vines are so much cooler than ladders, tree moss is so much cooler than ladders, and they are just free. You only need one of them. Ignore me as I fail to build this space. I'm always still so low on food, and I choose to ignore it. Don't actually know what I'm doing here. Oh, I'm going crazy. Okay, I realize this platform is actually an even number of blocks wide, so I'm going to have to make this 4 blocks wide to keep myself sane. I do shit like this all the time. To be fair, I was probably talking on stream. Okay, so hopefully these vines grow and I can just use them as a ladder. I love the aesthetic. Yeah, my build style was very plain, but it is satisfying to me. Okay, to finish this, I need to finish these walls up and make a platform. I think it's around 7 blocks in the sky. You'll see me do it very soon. Another random tip for you guys is to actually just build out of these chiseled blocks. Most chiseled blocks actually come with a property that stops mobs spawning on top of them. It's kind of overpowered, I'm not going to lie, for these kinds of runs. it makes building the Nether actually quite bearable. So you don't have to worry about ghasts and pigmen spawning every 2 freaking seconds. You're gonna get the full experience of this. So you see, I built up around 6 blocks tall, like a difference for the villagers. Apparently in this version, the villagers just infinitely breed when the doors are placed that high. I just think it just stops the restriction. I don't know the specific logic around it. I wasn't really into technical 1.7.10 Minecraft, but yeah, I did play a lot of Minecraft vanilla before GTNH, since this was my first pack. I probably got into it at the end of 2023, I'd like to say. So it has been some time, but yeah. So yeah, I'm still fairly new compared to GTNH's 10-year life, and I've already gotten 2 gates between that time, and been close to actually 2 more, I must say. But yeah, I'm not sure if those runs will finish. Okay, as you see, I marked down the height and I just run out of blocks, so I'll have to go mine a couple more. That seems to be a recurring issue where I just always run out of netherrack, even though I mine so much of it. And there, you see me abusing /home again to use the blocks that I just mined to build out the platform for the villager. And villager breeders are just so nostalgic. There's never an actual reason to breed them in a real run. I guess if you wanted the Thorm Enderai Pearl for early MV magic, that or the B apiary trade, that would probably be the only reason I would set up one. Otherwise, it's just easy enough going to villages and trying to capture them there. But villages are secretly OP in GTNH. Only the people that play GOG know. In a matter of fact, some villages sell certain items that you can recycle for steel. And sometimes there is a chance that you can get one of these villagers to infinitely trade with you for this item. And this item gives around 18 steel dust per maceration. Eventually, I want to try out this villager as I've never seen it in a normal run. Maybe this run I could try to get it. The villager trade mechanics in this are kinda scuffed. Sometimes villagers just lock trades completely and we don't know why. But other times they can infinitely trade with you and you can just keep updating their trades. And sometimes this can make for some stupidly OP villagers where you can just make infinite emeralds from them. Also, in 2.7, NEI actually shows all the villager trades. So it makes it super easy when you're trying to find specific items that villagers actually sell. I always struggled with this in previous versions. So here, you're seeing me make the royal stairs of the villagers out of chiseled netherrack, my favorite block. So I'm gonna have to try and make these villagers pathfind up here, because I don't really have another way to transport them up. Luckily, with enough time, this is easy enough to do, and yeah. You could also manipulate kind of villagers quite easily by using doors for their pathfinding. You can also keep trade locking them so they stay still and don't run away, and you just keep pushing them into a hole. I will certainly be using that strategy later for my emerald farm, where I'm going to have to be moving hundreds of villagers. I'm very lucky I just upgraded my CPU to a 7800 X3D. I hope that can handle the villagers. But you never know with Minecraft. Anything could happen. Very soon I think I'm going to have to set this up on a proper local server. I think that would benefit me a lot. Especially since I'm doing cactus. Once I get a cactus farm up and running, I'm going to need that bad boy cranking all day and all night in order to get through Steam. Once we are past Steam, we can make crop managers, so at least we can have some decent cactus rates. I can show you a few tips and tricks with crop managers if you are new later on. There's some very clever ways of using them and for their best ability. I'll always try to drop in random tips and facts that I know throughout stages, and even some that may apply to normal GTNH. So make sure to keep listening. Okay, so I'm extra securing this villager pathfinding thing. I think I'm just going to let all... How many villagers do I have? 3 or 2 villagers try to make their way up there. I tried using a bed. Oh, this was my bad. I'm so used to the newer versions, but I wanted to try pathfind these villagers to the bed and actually make a use for it. But it ends up not really working because that's not what defines the village. I should have just used doors. But yeah, if you guys do it in the future, just place your doors up there and all the villagers will instantly try to get there. It's such a good strategy. And if you want to stop your villagers from crowding all around an area, just remove the doors and boom, it makes it super easy to move. I kind of wish I knew this a bit earlier or remembered about it a bit earlier because it made my life a little bit harder later. So here I'm just gonna make some more cookie arrows, so I'm gonna gain some more wheat. Luckily wheat can just be bone mealed. And I finally got my first quest in the cooking tab. How exciting. Ghasts are always a constant scare in the Nether. Okay, here you get to witness my expert crafting the wheat into flour, then using the flour to craft some dough using some water. You can see it in NEI right here. I made sure I favorited all the items because I always forget the cookie recipe. Yeah, water is just a pain in the ass to craft. But luckily these barrels of water are actually more efficient, which I found out. So I'll be using those to craft the doughs. You can actually get double what you want. So if you hated microcrafting, you will hate this run, or at least doing it yourself. I'm sure you can still watch me. Life without AE2 is going to be miserable. In MV, we're going to need to get 20,000 ruby. 20,000 for 800 and I think it was 64 or 72 copper nickel coils for our mega blast furnace. That's going to be super fun. The aluminosilicate cook times are going to be amazing. So yeah, we're going to need magic investment real soon to get that redlon that we would most desperately need. Which makes me think. Redstone. Redstone produces lots and lots of mercury when centrifuged. Do you guys think it is feasible to run a base on mercury chemical reactors? Or not chemical reactors, the acid generators. Yeah, that's right, there is acid generators in this game. I've only seen a very few people use them and not as their main power source. I think I might do the math and work out if these are actually worth it. It actually seems like one of our most viable power methods, since water is going to be such a pain in the ass to rely on for power, so we cannot do steam. Benzene is also not really that great of an option in MV, since the only coils we have are copper nickel and asbestos is just locked. So we have to wait for synthetic mica, which can only be crafted with an EV bender, which can only be crafted once we have made a mega EBF with 9 MV hatches just pasted on it for the heat bonus. And we also need to set up this Garnidia titanium processing. So we have got quite the barrier to get there in the first place. And there's the recycling mines. And yeah, there's some crazy routings that you guys are not prepared for. I know too much obscure stuff, but yeah, if Mercury is actually power positive and does well, I might actually consider it and do it for at least LV and MV. If it can power a mega electric blast furnace with 9 MV hatches, I'm sure it can with a big enough buffer. I think I might do it. Yeah, and then I'll switch to something else, I reckon. Maybe soul sand oil. I think there's a lot of unseen potential in that. People meme about it quite often, but yeah, I think it's kind of good. Not even lying. I think the earliest that we can do it is in late MV. So we just need to make Mercury last until then. Then we can use oil. Funny oil. As you probably tell, I really do like obscure stuff, and I hope you guys too. One day I'll figure out a way to make the most weird strategy just completely broken and OP. I think that's what I would love doing. I have a feeling this may happen in this run, but we will find out. There we go, finally. Hope I didn't bore you with that talk. Our cookies can finally be crafted if I can remember their specific orientation that they need to be. So this is how you do it, guys. So you just chuck these cookies into a dispenser, right? Then you need to power it with some redstone. I think the only way I can really do it is with a redstone torch at the moment, and that's probably the cheapest redstone component, with just a torch and a piece of redstone. Then I just need to power it. I've got Draconic Place on. Sorry, that's kind of a habit if you didn't notice. And there we go. The villagers have now performed mitosis. Cute, right? They even keep the same original villager, they just make a completely, or just shed a completely new one off their body. It's kind of cursed, if I say so myself. And now we go through the power of editing. They are completely grown. And let's check their trades. Shit, 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 shit. Yay. Nah, that's alright. We'll get a million villagers after this. Doesn't matter what their trades are right now. Now, time for the fun part. You guessed it. Pathfinding. We need to get one villager to the top of our villager farm, and at least 2 in our farm. The last one can be killed. But I seem to decide to duplicate them one more time. Wow. Funny duck. And there's 37 more cookie arrows. So if you really wanted, you do not need to make a villager breeder. Cookie arrows are more than fine, and I would actually recommend that if you're doing villagers in a normal run. It just makes it so much easier since they're so cheap. The hardest part about it is either breeding for cocoa beans or finding a jungle. Well, I don't even know there's jungles in this version. You just have to find cocoa beans. Which, now that I think about it, I don't even know how you get them in biomes at plenty. I don't know what biome they spawn in. Maybe just in like mineshaft chests or something. I have no idea. And there we go. We perform mitosis once again. Oh, biology coming back to us. Now I've only got 8 shit villages. Well, how do I know? Well, look at them. We already know half the trades. So now I think it's time for another montage. This montage will be me crop breeding, because I still need a fair amount of crops. I should probably come up with a list of crops that I tend to go through for these runs. I will also be probably mining and I'll be making the emerald farm, and yeah, enjoy. Also, let me know if you guys like these montages. I think it's a good break of talking, and it shows progression quite well. Okay, peace. And welcome back, just in time for a huge milestone in the making, the Seared Tank plus XP Drain combo. This bad boy will allow us to craft tin. So later, we can finally upgrade to an iron tank for this XP. And of course, it enables a ton of other things. But yeah, I'm kind of hyped. As you can see, I put a lot of clips into that montage. That was about 4 hours, 5 hours, 6 hours, something along those lines, and I would like to say 100 clips. That was crazy. Took me so long. But yeah, I made huge progression during that stream. And I had to condense it down to like 2 to 3 minutes. I hope you enjoyed that. As you can see, I got that the villager breeder completely working, and it just completely filled the platform, started entity cramming the villagers. So I quickly got up a emerald farm. It's a pretty simple design, just 3 water streams, just all flowing into a unison one. Oops, more weeds. I keep losing things to weeds. I keep spending too much time on other projects. And as you can see, the baby villagers actually get funneled into the middle that the big ones produce, because apparently they're still in range of the doors. I don't know how and why. I think it's the 32 block radius, which I guess would make sense. But they just get collected in the middle. I guess if they grow up, they just produce more emeralds for us. Once it gets too crowded, there's a lava pocket where the baby villagers will just start burning, as harsh as it sounds. Sorry guys, I didn't even question my ethics. Dangerous for an engineer, I know. So now I'm gonna have to head up to my blaze farm while my essence berries cook and grow. They take so long. By the way, if you saw me placing skulls under those essence berries, they actually work as a multiplier now by quite a lot. It was just fixed this update, so it's still fairly new. But blazes give you 2 times XP, so they're not that bad, and I just want to start crafting the clay dusts so we can start working on the smeltery. So yeah, I ended up taking a break for a little bit, and this is what I came into that I teased in the beginning. I think leaving a gap so baby villagers can escape from their lava trap and narrowly survive may have been a mistake. I just left this on overnight to collect emeralds so I can start trading for things. And as you can see, it's kind of absurd, but at least I get a lot of emeralds. I was getting like over a stack an hour, so you can ignore that smeltery. That's for next video. Yes, I'm pretty far ahead. If you join my streams, then you can see how far ahead I am of the videos at the time. And I'm just gonna start breaking these doors so no more villagers can spawn and break my computer. I think the amount that I have is sufficient enough, I must say. So yeah, be careful when you start breeding villagers, guys, and make sure there's some sort of mitigation to, I guess, stop them from breeding. It's kind of hard, especially when they just infinitely do it. There's definitely one way to break a server if you really want to. Not that I'm telling you that you should. I would never inform such things. But yeah, thank you guys for watching, especially if you made it all the way through. I've been really trying to focus on improving the quality of my, I guess, editing, and I hope you can see that. If you have any suggestions, please leave it in the comments or on my Discord. That would be very nice. I'm just trying to get better every day. So thank you guys.